Der BasketsTalk mit Aaron White. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Weiß. Pretty fly for a white guy. We haven't used this as much over the last couple months. How often did you read stuff like that, whether it was Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, for your college career?
Yeah.
I didn't have the question on my list, but now that
I didn't get it a ton during college, but once I got here, I've been seeing it on Instagram and stuff, but I can't really understand what they're saying besides it's a pretty fly for a white guy, so it's funny though.
How do you come along with this for a guy who doesn't listen to music that much?
Yeah. I mean, I know that reference, but no, I just think it's funny. I mean,
and it sticks.
Yeah, it's funny.
Perfect. We gotta start talking about last summer of 2015, playing Summer League for the Wizards.
Yeah.
What kind of an experience has that been? I mean, coming out of college after 4 years, being drafted by the Wizards, 49th overall, playing for them in Summer League. What is it like to go out there, compete with a nearly group of total strangers for like 10 days or whatsoever?
Yeah.
Talk about the experience.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, obviously I was very fortunate to get drafted. I was excited about the experience. And then I kind of turned my focuses towards Summer League, knowing that a lot of guys go to Summer League with the hopes of getting jobs and with the hopes of being seen by certain teams. So it's kind of nice to be known that, the Wizards had my back in that. But it was weird playing with total strangers, especially the way I play. I like to kind of play within a role, play team basketball. So it's kind of hard to kind of get to know my teammates in 10 days and kind of pick it up right from there. But it was a great experience. I didn't play great, but it was a great experience, and I'm looking forward to it this summer too.
Was it just because of the whole setup that you didn't play great, or was it just because it was a different stage, or what was it?
I mean, I didn't make a lot of my shots early on. I didn't get the ball in a lot of positions where I usually do. A lot of transition. I didn't seem to find the ball and stuff like that. So a lot of it. I mean, I'm not making excuses. I just didn't play my best basketball, but that's behind me, and I learned from it. And that was the most important thing for me, to learn from it and to get better. Because I got better, even though I didn't play well. I got better learning. Got to kind of have a different mentality this summer for it. But I'm better player for it.
Yeah. Seeing you play now makes me think, for most parts of the game, is like, Aaron will definitely find his spots. He will, it's not that we have to run so many plays for you, because the way you are able to crush the offensive boards or run the lane, whether it's in transition, for example, it seems to me that you are not the kind of guy who needs too many plays for him to get buckets.
No.
So how was it in Summer League, especially, as you already mentioned, being the fact that you were drafted by that very team?
Yeah.
Did they run plays for you just to see how is this guy working in that situation?
Not really. I mean, we had an overall system that our assistant coaches put in for us. A couple of plays here and there. I think from their point of view, they did want to see me and Kelly Oubre, who they took in the first round. He played pretty well. But really, it's just a different type of basketball. It's more like pickup basketball. It's more, it's not very structured. So hopefully, realizing that this past summer, I can go into this summer realizing what it's going to be like and trying to get my spots and trying to get in certain situations where I can succeed.
Having this experience under your belt, where could you see yourself fit in the NBA?
Yeah, I could definitely see myself, like the things that you said about not having to have plays run for you and being good in transition and being in the right place at the right time. I think that will help me because I'm not going to go to the NBA and have anything run for me or have anything expected from me. So you got to make the most out of the small minutes you might get. So I think that could help me just being a good team energy player. So I think early on in my career I could see that in the NBA and seeing what happens from there.
Yeah. Making it over or come to the point that you've made the decision, or maybe were forced into the decision to come overseas. Talk about the whole process of, from playing Summer League or being drafted, playing the Summer League, and then coming over to Europe. Was that something you had in mind going into Summer League? Was that something that developed once the summer league was over?
Yeah.
How did this process go on?
It's something that happens a lot throughout the draft process before the draft. So I had, I think, 18 workouts with different teams, and you would leave a team, and the team might ask you, what do you think about going overseas for the first year? Or they'd say, what do you think about playing in the D-League for the first year, or whatever it may be. And we had a couple different opportunities that my agent kind of told me a couple different teams wanted me to go this route. I felt the most comfortable with Washington. I liked Washington. I liked the personnel that I met with and all of that, and I felt like it was a good fit, and my agent thought it was a great fit. Because a lot of times you might hear that, drafting go overseas, and then you kind of forget about them. The organization forgets about them. Whereas I really felt a sense of loyalty from Washington. So I thought, this was our best opportunity, and I knew that pretty much after or before the draft. Before if they were going to draft me, I knew that I was probably going to go overseas. And then there was kind of dialogue between the draft and summer league. It was dialogue with my agent, pretty much saying, give it your best during summer league, but the way the roster's shaking out, it looks like you're going to Europe. So that kind of freed my mind where I could just go to summer league, not put too much pressure on myself, realizing that this was the plan overall. So overall, I'm really happy with the decision. I've loved my first year over here. I really like Europe. I like the basketball over here. So I've enjoyed it.
How much did the Wizards, let's say maybe in some kind of way advising manage or have to do with your final decision to come to Baum?
Yeah, I think they had a bigger hand in it than I realized at the beginning. I was in contact with a couple of their assistant GM, and he had kind of said that this was a good fit, country-wise, league-wise, city-wise, everything for me and my family to kind of get my feet wet where I could really develop and get better. Because I had quite a bit of offers to come to different countries and different leagues, and overall, my agent steered me this way, and also I think a lot of the steering from my agent came from Washington, who kind of picked this place as a good fit for me.
Okay. Everybody knows somebody who has played somewhere in whatever league in basketball.
Yeah.
Once you knew, Baum.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you contact? What did they tell you?
Yeah.
How far has all those things that you were told about Baum and the BBL has come true? And what's been the biggest lie about the German league outside of German basketball?
Biggest lie. Well, I didn't know somebody specifically that played at Baum. My college coach did. I wish I could remember the name off the top of my head. I can't. So he kind of told me a good city, good league, good country. I had a lot of former college teammates that had played overseas, so I kind of went to them. Matt Gatens, who's playing in France, he played in Turkey, he played in Ukraine. I talked to him a lot. He's been, since my freshman year of college, he's been a big help. And, obviously, like you said, you get to know a bunch of different people that have played overseas, where I kind of sent some texts, kind of what to expect, what to bring, stuff like that. There was no lie told to me about the BBL. I didn't really know what to expect. I knew it was a good league top to bottom, which has been true. Even the teams that are positioned low can still beat teams towards the top. But no, I mean, it's pretty much exceeded my expectations. I think it's a great league. I think got good coaches, good teams, and great atmospheres. The arenas are all good and the fans are good. So, like I said, I've really enjoyed it.
Talking about development, coming out of college, what aspect of your game did you want to get more, or did you want to get better at? And what would you say is something that you realized, I got to work on this or that aspect, and before coming into the BBL thought, this would be easy.
Yeah. I didn't really think any of it was going to be easy. I knew at this level everyone is here for a reason. You don't pay guys to play basketball because they're scrubs. Most guys can play. But coming in, I definitely wanted to be a consistent shooter from three-point land, which my numbers are pretty good this year. I'm happy with that. And I wanted to get a little bit better in the half-court offense. I knew that in transition is somewhere I've really succeeded at in my college career, and something I need to get better at in for my pro career and moving forward. So I think I've made some strides in that area. In terms of once I got here, I realized, obviously playing the four, being a stretch four, I do need to work on my post game a little bit when I get, switches on the guards and stuff like that. Right now, I kind of have a jump hook or a fadeaway, but nothing really else. So maybe get that over the summer and keep working on that throughout my career, where I can become, if I get a mismatch, I can post a guy up a little bit better. But overall, just continue to become a better player and learn. And I think this experience has helped me learn a lot about the game and a lot about myself and what I want to be as a professional player.
How much does it help to have big man or experienced big men like Dirk, Tadas, and now Yancey on the roster?
Yeah, it's good because.
Or a second part of the question, excuse me. Did Tadas take you under his wing to some degree, or is it just that maybe whether it's in practice or in the game that he's come to you and gives you those tiny little pieces of advice?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's taking me under his wing, but he has, told me a lot here and there, especially since he's been a post player. He's played in, top leagues in Europe. You try and take knowledge away from that. I try and take knowledge away from, all my teammates. It's great that we have pretty much three different post players that play three different ways. Dirk can shoot the three. Yancey's really physical and aggressive down low, and then Tadas is a little bit of both. He's got mid-range, he can pass really well, and he's also got moves down low. So it's good to just work with them every day in practice, going against them. They're all older than me. They're all stronger than I am.
Everybody's older than you.
Exactly. And they're all more experienced than me. So you can learn a lot from that, and I think that's helped me because, next year if I'm on the Wizards or I'm somewhere else, I'm probably going to be the youngest player again, so or a second youngest player. So it's going to be a continual growth process for me to learn and get better and improve.
Whether it's on or off court, what did you realize was more important at the pros than you thought it would be?
Really taking care of my body.
What, at age 22? Well, 23?
Yeah, right I'm 23 now, but still.
Isn't it just go out of bed, eat some, go to the gym, and
It's not.
Do the windmill?
No, it's not. I wish it was. And the reason it's not, it could be like that, but I want to play a long time,
Yeah.
So, if I want to play until I'm, mid-30s, then I got to take care of myself now. And that's kind of what, going back to your previous question, I think that's something that Tadas has shown me, who's 33. Dirk showed me, who's 32. Jimmy's 32. We got some veteran guys that are still playing at a high level, and I look at them, and I'm like, I want to be able to play to that age and beyond a little bit because, I love the game and I want to be around the game. So, eating right, getting up early to eat breakfast before our morning practice, resting my legs in between practices because we got two here. That's not something we had in the States. You don't practice twice in the States.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've really dedicated myself to because I want to play and I want to be around the game. So that's the biggest thing I've learned, especially this year.
You might try yoga as well.
Yeah, no.
Yoga helps.
It does, for real.
I don't know if you know about Chris Ensminger, he went to Valpo.
Okay.
In the States, he played in Bonn until he was 38 or 39.
Yeah.
And he started doing yoga in his early 30s.
Yeah.
I think it was his wife's sister who brought it into the family, and
Yeah.
he started doing yoga and realized that it's great for whether it's core stability or stretching out or stuff like that.
And it's tough too.
And I think that was his the secret that was, so to speak, found in the youth, that he was able to play until his late 30s.
I gotta start doing that then.
Maybe it helps. Maybe it helps.
Maybe.
And on the other hand, how much does it help to to have your family with you?
Yeah, it's huge.
Especially Micah and your wife. How much does that help to not lay in the bed until 10 minutes before practice?
Yeah, it's huge.
Get up early, have a good breakfast.
It's huge. They went back to the States about a week ago for 16, 17 days, and it was totally different, man. Not only the reason you like going home and seeing them and being able to interact with people in between practices, but mentally, obviously when you walk into the gym, you're focused and ready for practice, and then when you go home, it was great for me to be with them because I totally forget about basketball and I can just focus on playing with Micah, being with my wife, doing whatever, just watching TV, hanging out. But kind of when they were gone, it's kind of like, oh man, you think about practice, you think about how you played your last game, or you look at the schedule and you're thinking about I hope we beat so and so and we play well, stuff like that. So it's really big for me mentally, and it's great that they're here, and I appreciate their support, and they'll be with me, wherever I go next year as well.
Yeah,
and so forth.
Let's see. Let's talk about the current season, and we already to some degree touched the subject. Do you feel that you had some kind of rookie slump, which is something that which is widely talked about all over the basketball landscape, that once you hit your first pro year, whether it's playing in the US or playing overseas or wherever it may be, when you're a rookie, there might be, or to a high percentage, there will be a rookie slump for you, some stretch where whether it's you don't feel well or the shots don't fall.
Yeah.
Did you experience some kind of a rookie slump?
I don't think I would call it a slump. I think our last game at Oldenburg, I played horrible, and a lot of that was getting back to what mentally I was just tired. Mentally we've already played 35, 36 something games. My whole college senior year we played about 36, 37 games. So it's kind of in a much longer stretched out period. So it's kind of a lot of games at once where early on, and right after a game I was ready for the next one. Now it's like with the week in between, it's kind of different for me. I've never had to wait a whole week, in between games. So it's been good though. I think for the past month we've had this, and it's kind of got me into a routine to realize that you play one game, you got the day off the next day, and then you're ready to go back to work. So I think I'm past that, and I feel good both physically and mentally. So I'm ready for the last couple months of the season. And
how long did it take you? And what do you feel? How long did it take the whole team to get adjusted to that new rhythm, that new schedule that we have? Because as you already mentioned, between October and late December, we had 2 games a week.
Yeah,
it was a totally different workflow, even for us guys in the office, and it took us like 2.5, maybe 3 weeks until we really got adjusted to the new rhythm for the second part of the season.
I would say same thing for us.
Yeah.
It was just different, It's different, especially prepping for games. You finish a game, and then you kind of have the new scouting reports coming, and you're ready for the next one. Whereas now it's kind of you got almost 3 days of practice where you don't really think about the team until you're introduced to the scouting report. So it was different at first, especially for me, first year in Europe. A lot of guys I know have gone through this where they play one game a week, whether it be for the whole season or parts of seasons, and so they kind of helped me through it, kind of telling me what to expect, and telling me that the beginning of the week would be focusing on us, end of the week focusing on the team we're playing. So they've been really helpful for it.
I know there's the stigma that players want to play, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And everybody's happy if you can play twice a week, but being a rookie, how much does it help to mold your game, to maybe analyze your game when you only have one game a week? How much does it help to analyze maybe mistakes you did the previous game when you have a week off between games?
Yeah, there's kind of a good and bad to one game a week for me. The good is that I get a lot of extra time to get in the weight room, to stay after the shoot, to analyze the previous game, both whether I'm watching it at home on my computer or playing it back in my mind, laying in bed or whatever. The bad is, I want to play. I want to play, twice a week, 3 times a week, whatever it is. But I think, especially for this year, I think it's good to have one game a week now, where I can get in, get my extra lifts in, and get my extra shots up. So I've been enjoying it, to be honest.
Yeah. For the last couple of weeks, especially after we brought in Yancey, you've been playing the 3 position way more with a big lineup, with maybe Yancey at the 5, Tadas or Isaiah at the 4, and with you playing the 3-man. Talk about this. Talk about playing the 3, which was your projected NBA position.
Yeah, it's been interesting because before Yancey got here, I didn't play any 3. And then now, obviously, even in practice, I'm playing more 3 than people see in the game. So I think it's been good for me to show my versatility a little bit. I played the 3 2 out of my 4 years in college, so I had a lot of experience there. And it just gives us a little bit different look. I mean, we're a little bit longer. We can rebound a little bit better. So it's been fun. I mean, CP told me, before a little while back. I don't know whether we had just gotten Gates or we were about to get Gates. He kind of told me that, we're going to be moving you to the 3 a little bit. But he's been great about, I'm still getting majority of my minutes at the 4, but a little bit here and there at the 3, which is good for us and I think good for our team.
How much would you say do these couple minutes playing the 3-man help you as far as developing your shot is concerned?
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the numbers, until we played Ludwigsburg, that was until the end of last year, you took 14 threes in 12 games, making 2 out of those. That's a bad percentage,
That's bad.
by the way.
Hey, but since.
Huh?
Yeah, get to the next one.
Yeah, get to the next one. Playing Braunschweig until now, 10-game stretch, 13 out of 28. What changed? I mean, the shot is still the same, or is it just that you are more accustomed to, playing along the perimeter, or what is it?
Shot's the same. A lot of it was coming into Europe. I realized that, I came here to really work on my shot and to shoot the ball well, and I think I put a lot of pressure on myself early on to make shots and to get in the rhythm and to see the ball go in the hole. And then there was, around where you said, the Braunschweig game or a little bit before then, I kind of just, forget my shooting percentage, forget whatever. If it feels good, I'm going to shoot it, and that's what I've been doing. I've only 28 attempts, but still a good percentage, and hoping to finish the year, shooting the ball like that. So
I think Braunschweig was 4 out of 5, something like this. Are you a numbers guy? Do you look at your numbers at the end of the games? Do you look?
Yeah,
you grab the
Not only
stat
mine.
sheet and check on the score and on the individual numbers?
I look at numbers, both our team and opposing team, and stats. I think that's a lot of guys don't care about it. I personally do care about, our turnover numbers versus theirs, our rebounding numbers versus theirs, our shooting percentages. I look at all that stuff throughout the year. I go on Telekom to look at other guys' numbers who are playing. So I think CP is big into that too, which I like. He has the stats from the teams we're about to be playing up in the locker room, and that's something that I've always looked into going back to high school and college. I've always liked to see who I'm playing against, what their numbers look like, and how that stacks up against the rest of the league and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't have it on my list, but we talked about that topic the other day in the office. How much or how well are you able to use all those numbers, all those information that the coaching staff has given you guys during the actual game?
Yeah.
I mean, when you guard a Ricky Paulding, do you know he's a so-and-so 3-point shooter, or do you know he's, let's say, 75% of the time he's driving with his right instead of his left? How do you work with those kind of information?
Right. Little things, but like when you're playing, kind of your instincts take over. So I believe that if you know this stuff, that your instincts will kind of lead you in that direction. But no, you're not closing out to a guy knowing, he's shooting 45 from 3, so I'm going to really close out to him. You just know the guy, you know how the game's flowing. So no, when it comes down to the game, it's more instincts and feel for the game. But I also think it can help you in preparation and maybe halftime adjustments or quarter adjustments. It can help you.
Talking about adjustments, what did you guys do over the last couple of weeks? We had two weekends where we didn't have a game due to the All-Star break, and last weekend's, the cup competition, the top 4. A lot of free time. I know you guys had a couple of days off as well, yes, but what did you guys do in practice, and what were the, let's say, top 2 things you guys addressed going onto the final stretch of the season?
Yeah, I think it was majority defense. We fixed some stuff with how we're guarding ball screens on the side, and how we're going to guard, kind of chasing guys, whether they're going up towards the middle or down towards the sideline. We kind of switched it up. So a lot of it's been playing 5-on-5 to kind of stay in game shape, but at the same time, CP's put in some drills where we're working on our defense and showing that side of the floor up, because I think we got enough guys that can score the ball, and as long as we share the ball, we'll be all right offensively. But defensively is where we need to lock in and get stops and get rebounds.
That's a topic that's been widely discussed, whether it's in the papers or the fan base. when everybody's hearing, yeah, we practice defense, we do so much stuff and practice defensively. We want to lock in and we want to, rotate right and close out hard and whatever it may be. How come that, or at least that's widely the opinion out there is you can see this in games.
Yeah.
How come? Is there something missing, or isn't it that easy to do the things you do in practice and put them on the floor when it's game time?
Yeah, I wish it was that easy. I wish you could say that, we're going to do this in this game that we didn't do last game, but sometimes it doesn't happen like that, especially on the defensive side where it's so much team defense, it's so much, it's not perfect, Somebody's going to get beat, somebody's going to do something wrong where you got to help that man, and then the person that helped him has to be helped as well. So, I mean, a lot of it is communication and being in sync defensively as a team. So I wish it was as easy as saying, yeah, we're working on it, and then it's going to happen in the game. But people work on their jump shots, and they don't make them in the game or the free throws. It's not that simple. So all I can say is that we've been putting in the effort, we've been putting in the work, and we're going to do our best in the game, and it'll transfer,
Yeah. Would you say that sometimes we're overthinking on defense?
I would think so, yeah. I mean,
when you, at least that's, talking about my playing days on a way lower level, but sometimes when you say, hey, we got to do this and this and this, and once you see things coming,
you're thinking too much.
You're thinking like, okay, this is happening, so what do I have to do? And instead of playing, and that's something you already stretched, is playing on instinct.
Yeah. No, I think you're 100% right. I think there's only so many different ways you can guard a ball screen, or you can guard pin downs, or you can guard a post player. When it comes down to it, you just got to play off feel and to communicate. A lot of it's communication, and I think a lot of times you just got to play and realize what you've learned will help you, even when you're not trying to think about it on the spot. Just trust yourself and be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. I think you can. If things don't work the way you want them to work, you can't throw everything out the window.
Right.
And do it in a completely other way, because you have to, restructure everything around it.
No, I agree.
There was something that we discussed during the TV broadcast for, I think, in one of our Euro Cup road games. I think it was in Ontario.
Yeah.
Where we thought like, hey, why don't we ice them on the sideline pick and roll? Don't give them middle.
Yeah.
Send them down to the center line and let's see what happens. But if you do this, everybody else got to rotate in a totally different way. And once you shake it up, there could be a high chance that it'll a mess anyway, and they'll have a free layup either way.
Yeah, it's tough. And when you look at our team, a lot of guys are new to each other. So, I think if you tell a team that's been playing 2 or 3 years together to, hey, now all of a sudden we're going to ice or we're going to go under, I think people can react a little bit better. Especially from my experience in college. We ran the same defense pretty much my whole career, but we also practiced different things because maybe another team played certain defenses or we were switching up game by game. So, we could switch stuff, during the game and people were on sync, but that's because we had been together 2, 3, 4 years. Yeah. Here's a little bit different where you can't just throw something in the fire, at halftime or during a quarter and all of a sudden it's going to work. It doesn't work that way. Basketball's too much of a you got to be on the same page type of deal.
Do you miss college? Be honest.
When I watch them, I miss it, because I record the games or I stay up late to watch them, and especially when they play at home. I miss being around the fans. I miss being around the University of Iowa. So yeah, I miss the basketball a little bit, but at the same time, if I could, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go back. I think I had a great 4 years, and I think I'm in a great place now, and I'm looking forward to my professional career just like I was looking forward to my college career.
So how much fun will it be then to come next weekend, meet a former teammate, good friend, and godfather to Micah and Gabriel Olaseni?
Yeah, it's great. It's worked out amazing. This first year we're in the same league.
You planned it, come on.
Yeah, no, I wish we did. We should have, but we didn't. It just worked out. No, he's been down 2 or 3 times when they've had off days and stuff to see us, and it's weird. It was weird playing against him here, but this time I'm a little bit more excited to play against him, especially since we haven't played in 2 weeks. So no, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
In what kind of way was it weird? That you knew, yeah, now he's doing this and that, and nobody can stop him because you're not guarding him?
Yeah.
Or why was it weird?
It was weird because, I mean, we spent so much time together on the floor as the same team, you know? So seeing him in a different uniform was a little bit unusual. But no, after the first couple minutes, it was, you know, same old, you know, playing against another team. But no, I'm excited, though, for the game up in Gießen, and hopefully we get him this time.
And I think he's feeling pretty comfortable down there.
Yeah, I mean...
And especially when it comes to comparison to, you know,
to Bamberg. Yeah. I think, you know, I was really excited for him before the Bamberg season. You know, Bamberg's got a good reputation, EuroLeague. But I think he is a little bit more comfortable in Gießen. I think he's getting a little bit more minutes, a lot more minutes. Yeah. And he's getting to show what he can do. You know, he's top 5 in the league in rebounding. He can block shots. He's scoring the ball pretty well.
He had 17 and 12 against us.
Yeah,
by the way.
Yeah, he played well against us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he's having a good year, and I think he's gonna have a great career ahead of him.
Yeah. Final 2 questions. The official press release, where Gießen announced him coming from Bamberg over to Gießen, was released November 22nd. Question is, how long before that did you already know? Talking about, you know, coming back to the everybody knows somebody you played, but, you know, in this case it's your best friend and godfather to Micah. So
November 22nd, I probably knew. Shoot, I knew the day it happened. So I don't know.
Come on.
I did. I knew the day it happened. He when he got home from practice after the stuff happened in Bamberg, he texted me. I think we talked on FaceTime. So, but I don't know how long it was. I think 4 days, maybe 5 days.
Okay.
So I know maybe a week. Because his agent was looking for a new team, and he was talking about different options he had, and so I knew
that he was on the move, so to speak.
Yeah, I knew.
Okay.
I knew for quite a while.
Yeah. Final question: come Saturday, game versus Gießen. In the first meeting, we lost 82-93. What do we have to get better at, or what do we have to do better than we did in the first meeting? And is there something where you would say, yeah, this is some aspect from Gießen that we definitely have to take away from those guys?
Yeah, I mean, in the first meeting, we played pretty well. We were, I think, up a little bit, tied, down. I mean, the game was close, but I think there was a stretch, third quarter, I believe, where they made a run at us, and we dug ourselves a hole. So, I mean, come Saturday, we need to play a 40-minute game. You know, no laps in defense, getting back in transition and stuff like that. So, and give ourselves a fighting chance. I mean, they killed us on offensive glass. I remember. You know, you said Gabe had 12 rebounds. A lot of them were offensive. So we got to shut up the glass and make sure we play the whole game intensive on defense, and we'll be all right.
We'll see what it turns out.
Yeah.
Aaron, merci for stopping by. Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks, Shane.
That was nice. I like it.